Good day and welcome to Plus Sports Special. Definitely as usual, today a very beautiful Saturday. Will be an exciting moment on the show today as we take a series of sports programs that happened and that's trending in Nigeria across the whole 36 states. And let's not forget that also in the house, I won't be doing this alone. I have a special guest talking about a man that's, we can call him a media consultant, but right now he's talking as the president of Snooker and Pool Players Alliance, talking about Joachim Idada. It's good to have you on the show, sir.
Sure, Muda. It's nice being with you today.
Yeah, and obviously we are looking at a particular sport that is fast growing in Nigeria, and that's Q and Billard sport in Nigeria. A lot of people will want to understand what this is all about. But right now, you as the president of this sport in the country, tell us what Q and Billard sport in Nigeria means.
First, Q and Billard sports. This is a very highly cognitive sport. We classify it as a precision sport. It's a precision sport because it has to do with shooting. It has to do with your ability to reason out, focus your eyes, either with your hands or with any part of your body that is allowed to execute a shot. It's normally played on a table. We call them either snooker table, pool table, and you strike the ball using a cue stick. But in India, we have seen a situation where an handicapped man who does not have hands plays snooker using his chin. So that is a new one we've noticed. So there are different forms of billiard sports or cue sports. But in Nigeria, the most popular form of cue sports is the British 8-ball pool.
Okay, now I'm sure a lot of people will be wondering at home what this means. First of all, the cue and billiards. Is there any difference between the cue and billard?
Yes, cue means the cue stick.
Okay.
The cue means the cue stick. It's a short word for cue stick. Okay. Billiards is the general name for all of the cue sports. So most of the time we call them billiards or cue sports. We either call it billiard sports or cue sports. Under the old genre, we call it billiard sports. But now we prefer calling it cue sports.
Okay. So many questions. I think a lot of our listeners out there, we want to have more knowledge on this. Why is it the most popular name we call these things is snooker and pool? Yeah. Why snooker? Why is because if you tell people out there, I'm going to play a cue game or a cue sport or a billiard sport, it might not really make so much sense. Why come snooker is very popular, the name here?
Actually, snooker is a form of cue sports, or snooker is a form or a format of billiard sports.
Okay.
Snooker is played on a bigger table, a 12-foot table. Snooker is you have 22 balls on the table. For snooker, you have the 15 red balls and the cue ball that is white, and what I call the colored balls, the green, yellow, purple, blue, and black ball. There's a similarity between snooker, the way snooker is arranged, and even chess, because the pieces or the balls have values that are points. But unlike pool is much different. In pool, you play them on smaller tables. So you can play pool, there's a 9-foot table, and there is a 7-foot table. For the 9-foot table, for pool, you have 8-ball pool, 9-ball pool, you have 8-ball pool, you have 10-ball pool. Then you have another kind of pool that is called, it's billiards, but it's cushion billiards. We call that cushion billiards. In that particular kind of pool, we do not have a pocket.
Okay.
So
a pool without a pocket?
Yes.
So how does this call go by?
You just have 3 balls on the table.
Okay.
2 balls and your cue ball. Anytime you strike, anytime that you allow the 2 balls touch the cushion in a shot, you score a point.
Wow.
Very,
That's not popular here.
it's not popular. It's actually not popular. It's actually not popular. So, but in Nigeria, what we play is what I call club pool or English pool. We even also have blackboard pool, English pool, because most of the time it's found in the bar.
Okay.
Yes.
Those ones you see people playing around everywhere you go. What kind of pool? You mentioned the club pool.
Yeah, that's club pool. That's okay. Let me tell you the peculiarity. What is popular in Nigeria cannot, in classical sense, be described as, because they are not playing according to the international
What is popular in Nigeria?
Yes.
Cannot be classified.
Yes, as international standard pool. We have our own peculiar form of pool.
So give us that knowledge of our own peculiarity. Why did you create that?
We have what we call two shots. Two shots was available in the old format of British pool. 2 shots, but now you do not have 2 shots.
But we still have it.
But we still have it, yeah.
So now let me go my question openly now. So much about snooker, but is it that we have little knowledge about the mechanism, the technicality of the game?
Yes, that is where the problem is. That's where, because you see, precision sports are highly technical sports. Very, very technical. And somehow, I don't know for what reason, if I'll use that word, things that are highly technical, we tend to shy away from it in this part of the world. We tend to shy away from it. But with the work the Snooker and Pool Players Alliance has been doing, we have been looking at how to promote snooker and pool as professional sports. As professional sports. Because you have these games in the bar. Okay. What takes place in the bar are actually games.
What we see in the bar, where people have
game,
relaxation,
all those things, when they relax, they're just playing games.
They're not following standards.
They're not following standards. So I and you can set our own rules, sit on the ball, and there's somehow, unfortunately, pool has this affinity to betting. So I can beat you 4-5-0. Let's play. We set our rules, funny rules, and we get up. If I beat you 5-0, I take your 2,000 naira and walk away. But that actually is not pool. There's an international standard for pool, international standard rules for pool, like fouls, carry ball in hand. In Nigeria, ball in hand is not popular. Commercial pool, there is a pool table we call commercial pool tables where the pockets are big. In international standard pools, the pockets are not big, they are slim. Very, very, very highly technical and precision. They are all highly technical and precision sports. So most of the time, all those flukes and all this luck that people see that occur in the bar when you go into pool as a sport.
So to bridge the gap, I mean, people listening to this will be wondering and exposing their flaws, a lot of people, because I'm sure not only those listening to it, it's obvious that there's not so much of authority on this. So to bridge the gap between the popularity of the sport and the technicality know-how, what do you think should be done?
Yeah, first of all, we've been trying to do that. Okay, let me give you an illustration. We sent a player to Dubai to play in the Dubai Open Hayball Pool Championship. That's Christopher Abiodun.
Okay.
And when he got there, it was beautiful for him. He enjoyed the time going there. But when he came back with this opinion that men, we are joking in this country. Because what he saw them play, they were playing according to the standard international rule of Hayball Pool. And when he saw what they were playing, he was wondering what was going on, that we were far behind here in this country. Example, ball in hand. Ball in hand is not popular. Ball in hand is the standard penalty for a foul in pool.
So at what process do you have a ball in hand?
It's where you commit a foul.
Not the ball touching your hand.
No.
Because I'm sure a lot of listeners out there will think maybe when the ball gets to your hand.
The ball in hand means that the referee will take the cue ball, the white cue ball, and give it to the player in his hand.
Okay.
So he takes the ball wherever he wants to put it on the table. He puts it there and he plays his foul. So the penalty for a foul in pool is a ball in hand. That's we give the ball to the player. But what we do in this country is the penalty for a foul is 2 shots.
2 shots.
Yes, that means that the person who commits the foul, his opponent gets the opportunity to play 2 shots.
2 times.
Yes, 2 times, 2 shots. Simultaneously on the table. But that is not true.
So where did you get all those from?
we call it Sulere rules. We call it Sulere rules.
Okay, Sulere rules.
Street rules.
Street rules.
Yeah, street rules. Why? You see, for betting pool, if I use that word, for betting pool, it's very, very nice because it gives you an advantage for betting pool. You understand? So somehow we have taken the rules of betting pool, or what we call street pool, into standard pool in Nigeria. But actually, it is not acceptable. That means if the players leave Nigeria and go and play international, they'll really make a mess of themselves.
Are there places that these your international standard rules on pools and all? Are there places that abide to those rules?
Yes, that I can assure you. Every club, or every place that is affiliated to the Snooker Pool Players Alliance, we only play standard rules. It's standard. We only play standard rules. Even the whole idea of betting for us, we discourage it because it tends to diminish the status of the game or the status of the sport. Even what's her name? Emily Fraser. Yeah.
Okay.
She is the MD of. She's the MD of the. Sorry, Alice Fraser. She's the MD of the Matchroom pool.
Okay.
She raised that same issue that when Matchroom came into pool to promote.
Is it the same Matchroom we have in boxing?
Yeah, the same Matchroom.
They're also into pool.
They're also into pool, and they're also into snooker.
Oh, okay.
Yes. So she came out to say when they came into pool and they held their first major tournament, some of the players, the way they came, the way they appeared, their disposition to their sports, it did not carry that aura of they were coming to play a serious sport. You understand? All those street stuff, they wanted to bring it in. Okay. And Matchroom had to do quite a lot to reorientate some of these top players. And they're actually top players. And today, Matchroom is doing well. Now we now have an international ranking for 9-ball pool. Okay. We are now having a premiership, if I'll use that word. We're having a premiership for 9-ball pool. Even in 8-ball pool, Ultimate Pool in England has come in to promote to promote 8-ball pool. For 8-ball pool, we have Joy Billiards all the way in China. Right now, as I'm talking to you, on the 3rd, I think it's from the 3rd to the 7th of April, where we have the International Masters for 8-ball pool
outside the country,
China.
In China, obviously.
And Nigeria, we are doing everything possible to get players to go and play that event. Okay. But right now, because of the election, quite a lot of things seems to
are not going the way it should. So now let me take you back to a statement you made. I mean, on the light time, you mentioned Sulere rules, and my mind are there more snooker boards in Sulere than any other part of Lagos?
Let me explain. In the 70s, pool was pretty popular in the island area. So let me not call it Sulere, in the island area. So we had certain joints where, if I recall, where pool was played. There was a joint, I think it was opposite Ritalori Hotel. Okay. There was a joint just right in front of it. It was a hall just by, I think, what's the name of that? Is it Basfafo? Not Babs Anima Shan area of Sulere. So you had a lot of pool players aggregated around that area, and they started creating all sorts of rules concerning pool to suit themselves. So you had all of that. So in Victoria Island, on Kufu Abayomi, we had flamingos. Okay. Flamingos was cleaner. Okay. And they tended not, they were more interested in the game than in the sports. We have Pat's Bar, they've closed down. But right now, we are more interested for the alliance, we are more interested in billiard sports or cue sports for the sports purpose, not just for the recreational purpose. Let me give you another example.
Okay.
For snooker, we have all the big recreational center or recreational centers in Lagos. Even in Nigeria, all the big recreational centers tend to have snooker. Ikoyi Club, Island Club, Lagos Country Club, Benin Club, Port Harcourt Club, they tend to have snooker.
Is there any other sport that is so close to clubs than snooker? I mean, why do you have snookers in clubs? I mean, with the origin of such, because there's this marriage
There's a marriage
between snooker and club side and snooker and big bar and all that. Is it because the people that go into the bars or the hotels should play snooker? I want to see.
I won't say that. Somehow, there are certain sports that tends to. There's a marriage between the sports and the pub.
Okay, the pub. Okay.
We call them the pub, or I rather say the bar, the bottle. Let me not use the bar, the bottle, and the sport. Because if I use the word the bar, I will not be really covering it.
Okay.
I believe the bottle. The bottle means drinks.
Okay.
So somehow, many of these billiard sports tend to be attracted to, or players of billiard sport tend to be attracted to drink.
Oh, okay.
So that is the marriage. So while you are busy playing your snooker or your pool or your cushion billiards, somehow there's a tendency for you to be drinking.
Okay.
But that is for the game.
Okay, that's for the game.
So
where we see most places in the country are just for the games.
Yes, that's for game. I want to catch some fun. That's why you see it in these recreational centers. That is why you see it in the pub. So in the pub, what you have in the pub, we have people like, you have pubs, you have pool in the pub, you have darts in the pub, you have snooker in the pub, you have billiards in the pub. But somehow, that's the point. When it comes to the sports, it's a different kettle of fish. You do not have the sports in the bar.
In the bar, interesting knowledge. Oh, okay.
You do not have the sports in the bar.
Can that make possible for us to have the sports in the bar?
Yes, where you have the sports. You have the sports in what we call the billiard halls.
Okay.
The billiard halls, like you have a stadium in football or a tennis court.
Okay.
In this, so you have what we call the billiard halls. So or the pool halls. In those places, that is where you have the players are more proficient. They are playing for a purpose. They have rankings. They have all of this. You end up watching them on the television. So players that go to the billiard halls to play, their vision is to end up on television. And that is what we are trying to do. And that's what you are seeing right now on the screen. You can see one of the alliances match.
Okay.
Here, the players are playing Hebor pool.
Okay.
They are playing Hebor pool.
Yeah, thank you very much. Away from billiard sports, popularly known as snooker and the rest, let's take your mind go to swimming, where parents of schools in Lagos has urged organizers to enhance the competition, because the dolphin swimming competition took place last week, and swimming is one sport that has been given so much, has been developing in this world. So in this report, we'll be letting you know how parents and organizers have urged many swimming operators and swimming pools to ensure that they keep doing sport so that their lads will enjoy and know so much about swimming. Enjoy this report.
The large turnout of parents who came to support their words added glamour to the third leg of the Dolphin Swimming League Season 4 held at the Children International School, Lekki. The developmental initiative, which provided regular competition for pupils and students of participating schools, have been a platform created by the organizers to develop the sport and groom swimmers that will represent Nigeria at international championships in the future. While appreciating the ideal of the Dolphin Swimming League, parents stated that the competition helped participants to exercise their body and mind, build competitive skills and confidence while promoting interaction and friendship.
I see this as a wonderful opportunity, for the children to showcase their talent and their skills in the sport of swimming. So I like this forum, and I pray it continues. It should be more frequent, and maybe more schools should get involved, because Nigeria is filled with talented children, adults, youth, and all that. We're very talented people.
It's really been very good that schools come together as a community to actually forge ahead with such an important sport. Myself, I used to be into competitive swimming, so I know really what it does for the children. It helps them with time management, it helps them with endurance, and it helps them with their social skills and also academically. So I think it's a really good thing that you can see this happening in Nigeria.
Stakeholders described the initiative as laudable, commended the resolve of the organizers to make a difference in the sport, having sustained the league for 4 seasons.
We have massive plan. Like I said, we've gotten collaboration with the School Sports Federation of Nigeria. We are also having collaboration with Nigeria Olympics Committee through their youth wings. Our discussions are on so that we can have the swimming league representing Nigeria at the global youth event in the nearest future.
Basically, we look forward to a situation whereby the event, the Dolphin League, will be something nationwide, because I do believe there are a lot of talent spread around the country. We need to take advantage of those. We have the likes of those who represent Nigeria in Olympics, and obviously if you catch them young, it's something to behold.
Over 50 events across different categories for both elementary and secondary schools were decided in the last leg of season, built to end later this month.
Yes, and that swimming event that took place in Lekki. If you're just joining us, you're welcome to Plus Sports Special. Still with me in the house is the president of talking about Pool and Snooker Alliance, Players Alliance, Joachim Idada. Still on the topic of Q and Billard is the fact that we want to know why there's not been so much promotion. If there were 2 or 4 persons of your own caliber in promoting this, I'm sure we will know that the game could have gone further. But what should be done on the side of the private sectors and government to uplift the sport to the level it should be?
Okay, let's look at it from this perspective. Most of the time, most Ministry of Sports are more interested in sports that are classified as Olympic sports or medal sports. So far, on the international level, billiard sports have not been recognized as Olympic sports.
Okay.
Right now, billiard sports are only available at what we call the World Games, where we have snooker and we have pool, 9-ball pool.
Okay.
Now the next World Games is going to take place in China. We hope that 8-ball pool will be added to it. This is where the problem is.
Okay.
Nigeria does not participate in the World Games. Because Nigeria does not participate in the World Games, somehow you find out that a game like billiard sports that will have been one of the competitions that we will participate in, we lose that opportunity. Unlike Egypt, Egypt goes to the World Games. And so they have representative in snooker and they have representative for pool. So now, my take on this matter is, most of the time, for any sport to get traction, the sport must have the capacity to empower the participant, the players. That is why football is popular. Everybody wants to play football because today you have nothing, tomorrow you have the whole world in your pocket and you're doing so much. So we need to, in Nigeria, we need to cultivate that culture. We need to cultivate the culture of wanting to create the platform where the youths can get empowered. through sports.
Okay, well said. And you know that what you just said now, I still have to come back to you in person.
Yes.
You as the president of this alliance,
Yes.
what have you done to ensure that some of your objective or some of what you said earlier has been done? So what are the objective of the association?
The first thing we've done, right now, as I can assure you, we have sent players to go and play in Singapore. We have sent players to go and play in Dubai. We are hoping, if things go as planned, if nothing goes wrong with this, our election that is going on, we are hoping that we'll send players to go and play in China for the Heibo Masters competition that offers a reward of $730,000. That's a cash prize. Because you see, that is the thing which we tend to want to see, because the motto of the alliance is what? Empowering the Nigerian snooker and pool players.
Okay.
We want to empower them. And the only way you can empower anybody is through exposure. So we have to expose them to the international circuits. And if they can get into the international circuit and they can perform at the international circuit, they get empowered. They get financially rewarded for their skills. Locally, we can only do so little. What we can do for them is what? Help them understand the international standard of the sport, cause them to play in accordance with that rule, encourage them to sharpen their skills.
Okay.
Because outside here, outside this country, there is no Sule rule. And outside this country,
I'm sure a lot of people are listening to that. Outside the country, there's no Sule
there's no
rule.
Sule rule. Outside this country, I can assure you that the players don't take prisoners. When you go in there, it's break and run. Nigerian players are still struggling to achieve
Even the best of the best of us.
Even the best of the best of us. The guy in Christopher Abiodun, let me not say the guy, Christopher Abiodun, when he went to Dubai, he came out of the first round. He came out of the second round. He did well in the first round. He did well in the second round. When he got to the third round, before he entered the quarterfinals, when he got to the third round, he was just watching as a spectator because his opponent was just achieving break and run. He just breaks, finishes his ball, and he's looking. He breaks, he finishes his ball.
Okay. That's I'm imagining that. So is there a situation like that where the first person that breaks the ball then
he just breaks and finishes off the ball, and you just be watching, and he has the opportunity to
so if that's the catching me on that way. So if you break that ball,
you achieve a break.
You achieve a break.
Yes.
And you
just pot your 7 balls.
And that's all.
That's all. The game is over. And they now tell you first to 5. So except the tournament is what we call an alternate break. In an alternate break, I break, then you break.
Okay.
Now, if you don't know how to achieve a break and run, if I break, I achieve my break and run. It's your turn to break. You break, you start playing tactics, giving me the opportunity to come on the table. And once I come on the table, I finish the ball. It's just like what do you call it in lawn tennis? Is it break of serve or something like that?
Service break.
Yeah, that's what they achieve. So you see, we need to. That is where we are trying to go in the alliance. We are trying to encourage the Nigerian snooker and pool players that they need to master. Look, to break is a technique. You know, most of us just go to the table and we just look like this and just shoot the ball,
and you expect one color to go inside, and you follow the color throughout.
That is it. In international snooker or even international pool, to break, there's a technique to break. You break, all your balls you want to play knows where they go and sit and arrange themselves.
I need to be sincere with you with the fact that you said break and run.
It's called a break and run. So you don't just break anyhow. You break in such a way that the balls you prefer, if you want to be striped or you want to be colored, it will go and sit in the pocket carefully, waiting for you to finish the game. So that is where the problem is.
Okay.
And one of the challenge is that because of what I call the pandemic of betting on the table, the players tend not to spend their time in learning the techniques, the technicality of the sport. You know how to break, you know how to achieve jump shots, you know how to bank, you know how to play your safeties, you know all of that. In Nigeria, the funny thing in Nigeria, there's a funny rule that you can hit the ball any time. They say that it's called safety shots. You just hide the cue ball. I'm sure
you're coming here as really exposed so
no,
much.
You just hide the cue ball at the back of the ball you want to play. That's the foul. But the standard rule is that in any shot, either the cue ball or the one of the balls that you have struck must touch
what we're seeing so far, is it following the standard as we can see on the screen?
This is standard. This is standard. So if you watch it, he's trying to hit that strike ball.
Okay.
And he's going for the cushion. You can see that he has put that ball right into that pocket.
Okay.
That's standard. Okay, now watch this shot. Watch this shot.
Okay.
You will see that once he hits the ball must touch the cushion. The ball.
That's the sides.
Yes, it must touch the cushion.
Okay.
But in Suleru, there is no need to do. Okay, that is the guy on the screen right now. That's Christopher Abiodun.
Okay, the guy that went to Dubai and gave us
some. Yeah, that's the guy that went to Dubai, Christopher Abiodun. We now call him Emirati because he's one of the players. Look at him sitting there.
Okay.
Yes, that is being raised. He has gone to Dubai. We've sent him to Singapore to go and play. And when he went there, he just came back and he said, my president, we are still joking. We are far behind. But never mind. Rome was not built in a day.
Okay.
The work is ongoing. We will not give up. We keep on putting our best to make sure they achieve it.
So let's not take our mind away from this sport and go straight to what happened also during the week. We're giving the highlight of the Flying Eagle games and the best 5 goals in the group stage of the AFCON Under-20, the highlight of the Flying Eagles games, and also the best 5 goals in the group stage. Let's see whether one of the Nigerian goals will be part of the best 5 goals in the group stage. When we come back, we still have Joachim Idada in the house.
At this quarter-final match between last year's runners-up Uganda and the 7-time champions Nigeria at the 2023 Total Olympics Cup Under-20 Africa Cup of Nations. Uganda with some promising signs over the minutes, but when the opening goal came, it will be they who went behind. A cruel opening goal for them, but particularly their left-back. Ibrahim Juma helpless as the ball bounced back off the post into his leg and gave Nigeria the lead into the second half. They continued in a similar manner after the restart. Ibrahim Mohamed, who was influential having that shot that led to the first goal, coming close again in the second. Uganda tried to find an equaliser. The captain there, Isma Mugaluzi, with an effort that drifted wide. In truth, they never really threatened the Nigerian goal. Nigeria had a few chances of their own to double their lead. That one from range. Then the man of the match, Abel Bukunje, the centre-back, with a very optimistic effort from a free kick. Mohamed coming a little closer from a closer range free kick. Late yellow card for Rogers Tarach, Uganda centre-back. But that would be that. 1-0 to Nigeria. And the Flying Eagles soar on to the semi-final stage and the Under-20 World Cup.
shot at the other end, and Tunisia are back in front. Almost immediately for the restart. Absolutely remarkable, this. Well, if it was an emphatic finish from Mutandwa to bring Zambia level, that's an even better one.
First half, so this an improvement already. Good header! 1-0! My word, what a goal! An absolute bullet header! There was no stopping that. Abalaka! And he makes a beeline to his coach, Leiden Bosso. That's great to see. Winning the jaw. They've done it again. Nigeria 2-0 with another wonder goal. My oh my! This time from Mohammed. Oh, the message. Anything you can do, I could do better.
Getting ready to make a couple of substitutions. Oh, lovely turn and the shot into the net from Kingston Mutandwa. It's 1-1. Zambia back on level terms. Really a goal that came from nowhere, but an emphatic finish. And a goal that may just rescue Zambia's campaign here.
It's an interesting moment. Now you know that Nigeria has 2 goals out of the best 5 goals in the group stage, and I'm sure my guest here mentioned his favourite, but I doubt that. So I'm sure he mentioned his favourite, but we still have him not talking about football. We'll still look at before we round up for the show today. So what Joachim Idada permits me to say that. What then do you think should be done for more membership for Pool Players Alliance? Because more membership means more story talking about the game.
So first, what the Alliance has done first, we developed a ranking system similar to what the American Pool Players Association has done. So we have a ranking system that is computerized. So we now have, for 2023, even not for the election, we should have started the top 4 regular tournaments, and the tournaments we are trying to back it with cash, with reward, because with that it gives the players incentive to want to play more and more and more. Then we're also trying to get the players to transition from Sulere to standard rules, because that is very, very important. And when they can transition, many of them are transitioned. Those who play in the Alliance, in locations that are affiliated to the Alliance, they've done the transition. But not everybody has done the transition. Even we still see players who come to complain, oh, we want to play, but we'll play 2 shots, we play all of that kind of a thing. But so it's a work in progress. So in 2023, by God's grace, after this election, we'll start seeing the top 4 tournaments, regular top 4, the Joy Billiards competition will commence. The players that will go to China, we'll try to see how we can achieve it, send them over to China to go play, so that they can get that exposure. And once they get the exposure, then we now know
lastly, because of our time, do you have a department that goes about ensuring the street rules to this? Or how do you ensure street rules to the standard rules? Is it those that are under you that you can only ensure?
Yes, it's only it's only those you can go. Till you come into the Alliance, there is little or nothing we could do. A man, we call them wild card. If you're a street player, if you're a wild card player, we do not have any rule over you. But once you come over to the Alliance and you want to play in our events, you want to go to clubs or bars that are affiliated to us, you must play the standard rule.
Thank you very much, Judy Dada. I call you Judy Dada. I have to tell people why I do my mistake, because you are the elder brother of the popular Judy Dada, a writer. First of all, know who Judy Idada. This is the elder brother. So thank you for what you've done for this particular sport. Hope that subsequent time we could call you on to tell us the improvement, the updates on this.
Yes, Buddha, my pleasure any day. I'm always available.
Thank you.
When it comes to precision and mind sports, I'm available.
Thank you very much. this is all we'll take for today. But as we round up, we'll also let you know that you'll be having so much to watch in some of the highlights of the AFCON Under-20 going on. That's between Egypt versus Senegal, and also the game between Mozambique versus Nigeria, that highlight. But that's all we should take on today's program. Same time next week, we'll be giving you all what you need to know in the world of sport. I'm Mudashiu Shitu. Bye for now.